Hello everyone, this is Saurabh Mode and most welcome you all on my YouTube channel Lingual Lead Capital. Dear friends, this is my first lecture, and in this lecture I will cover all those terms and all those contents whatever the lectures will deliver in this channel. Okay, so this channel, this lecture covers the two major subjects. First one is your literature and another is your linguistics. All the contents and topics will be with the easy teaching method, and with that will from your exam perceptives, right? So in this lecture, at first I will cover the contents of the literature subject. Okay, so before going to start, before going to show you the contents, I will first explain that what is the literature. When we come to literature, this is the definition, and this is the very famous definition of the literature, that literature is the mirror of the society. This means that it depicts all the works. I mean, whatever is going on in our society, or what is the culture of our society, whatever is the civilizations of your society, whatever is happening to your, in your society, that is completely the part of the literature. So all the in same way, when do we talk about the old English period, and whatever the changes that have been occurred in the from the old English period to the middle English period, and after that the modern time. So we study the literature, we study the cultures, we study the all the patterns of the that, either we talk about the epic, either we talk about any stories, that there we found that there are some changes, right? So in literature we study all those things. So in literature, I would like to cover first from the Anglo-Saxon period, which is also known as the Old English period, and we'll cover till modern era, and including we'll also study the Australian literature, Canadian literature, and theory and criticism also. Okay, so here at first, I'd like to go through the Anglo-Saxon period. The Anglo-Saxon period covers the time of the 450 AD to 1066. Okay, so in this period, Anglo-Saxon period, which is also known as the Dark Age, this period covers the 450 AD to 1066, means it ends with the Norman conquest, right? And between these periods, there are some famous writers like Sidmon, Sineul, King Alfred, and also there is some more writers which will I will cover all those writers when shall I deliver the lectures through one by period. Okay, so and the most famous work in this period, which is the epic, and that is known as the Beowulf, right? Next, when we come to the Middle English period, Middle English period is the very popular and very famous, and in this period is very famous because of the most important work, like sonnet. We talk about the sonnet. We talk about the Renaissance also. We talk about the Geoffrey Chaucer's the most famous work, where he just discovered the Atavarima rhyme royal, and he was known to be the father of the heroic couplet also. And and also there are some more writers who was more famous, who was much more famous, and his works are really so grateful. Okay, so Middle English period covers that from 106 from Norman conquest to 1500. This period also covers the 100 years wars. Okay, and after that we will be study the Renaissance or the early modern period, which covers the 1500 AD to the 600, and after that we will study the Elizabethan age, which is the very popular and very, what do you say? Elizabethan is the most important age. Elizabethan, when do we talk about the Elizabethan? Elizabethan was the only the girl who was unmarried. Elizabethan is known as the childless Elizabeth. She is also known as the Virgin Queen, and the Gloriana or the Good Queen West. Elizabeth was also known to be the last Tudor dynasty in the sense that Elizabeth was the daughter of the Henry VIII, who was the last Tudor. Okay, Elizabeth was born on the 7th of the September 1553, and she was died on the 24th of the March 1603. Okay, Elizabeth was ruled, I mean, ran to the throne to the King of the England on the 1558, and she was ruled from to the 1603. It is said that in the period of the Elizabeth, there was the flourish of the drama. It means that the drama was on the peak. Okay, after the death of the Queen Elizabeth, his cousin James Jacobean is also Jacobean is named as the king of the James first. Okay, King James first at that time he was the king of the Ireland and Scotland, and there he was known as the King James six. But when he come to the England and he was enthroned to the king, then he was enthroned as the King James first, and there is some work of the King James first which is most famous, like the authorized version of the Bible, which was published in 1611. Okay, and when I mean, King James first enthroned to the king, at that time there was a plot which is known as the Gunpowder Plot, which was led by the Robert Catsby on 5th of the November 1605. Okay, Guy Fawkes and his Catholic friends tried to blow up the House of the Parliament, but this plan was revealed before a day. It means this plan was plotted for the 5th of the November, but this was revealed on 4th of the November. It means that there was someone that was revealed, I mean, due to that reasons, this was revealed. Okay, so next we come to the Commonwealth period. After the Jacobean age, there is the Caroline age. Age is known as the reign of the Charles first. Charles, when do I talk about the Charles first? Charles first is the son of the James first, who was believed that actually Charles first was no struggle in his era. So Charles first just actually his father James first was the king, so he was enthroned to the king, and he was just assuming this. Charles first was assuming this, that I'm ruling with the divine right. Actually, Charles first has no more ideas about how to rule. Okay, so there was a person who was and one more important point about the Caroline is that there was also civil war in 1642, which is the most famous war. These questions has been asked many times in the many exams, like PG entrances, TGT entrances, and other PG and other I mean entrances. Okay, and in this age, what happens, that actually Charles first was not much more, I mean, mature. I can say that he has no more ideas at how to rule. Okay, so there was a person who was the Oliver Cromwell. Actually, the when there was the civil war in 1642, at that time the war lasted 4 years, and the following the defeat of the Charles Royalist forces. Okay, at that time in that war, Charles Royalist forces were defeated, and after that, and this was defeated because of the new model army which was led by the Oliver Cromwell. Okay, and after that, Charles was captured and imprisoned. The House of the Commons tried to charge for the treason against the England, and when he found guilty, he was condemned to death. Actually, Charles first was beheaded at the 13th of the January in 1649. Okay, after the death of the Charles first, Actually, the England was announced to be the republic, and that's why this period is known to be the Commonwealth period. Means when it was announced to the republic at the time, at the king of the England was the Oliver Cromwell. In that time, Oliver Cromwell was ruling on England from the 1649 to the 1660, and after that there come the neoclassical period from the 1660 to the 1798, discovered 1798. But between these there happens something which is known as the restoration period. After the Charles period and the Oliver Cromwell, there was the restoration period. Restoration period means, the name restoration means restore. Restore, it means then the Charles II, who was the son of the, when do I talk about Charles II was the king of the England and the Scotland and the Ireland. When he was the king of the Scotland from the 1649 until his disposition in 1651, the king of the England and the Scotland and Ireland, the restoration of the monarchy in the 1660 until his death. Charles' father, actually, Charles II was the son of the Charles First, okay, and he was executed at the Whitehall on 30 January 1649. As already I have told you all about the Charles First in the colonial, and after at that time, the civil war was on the climax, and after the parliament of the of Scotland proclaimed Charles II king on 5th of February 1649. Okay, so there was a English Commonwealth, and the country was to do facto republic led by the Oliver Cromwell. Cromwell defeated Charles II at the Battle of the Worcester in 3 of the September 1651. That's why the Commonwealth period starts, and the restoration was due to the, because at last time there was the war between the Richard Cromwell and the Charles II, and in that war Charles II just won that war, and he was the restored to the king of the England. After that, there comes the Augustan age, and the Alexander, that was the age of the Alexander Pope. And after that, there is the age of the sensibility or transitional period of the age of Dr. Samuel Johnson, which we studied the dictionary. And after that we come to the romantic era. Romantic era is the very famous era, and after that we cover the Victorian periods, modern periods to the present time, and the most important contents and topics that we like discuss here: Indian literature and the world literature. Actually, present time, maximum questions are coming from the Indian literature, world literature, and also literary theory and criticism, which shall like completely, present and with a well motives. Okay. Okay, so next, the other subjects that we like target the linguistics. At first, I would like to share with you. I would like to tell you that what is linguistics. When we come to linguistics, linguistics is known as the scientific study of language. This means this explores all this explores the meaning, structure, and knowledge of the language. Okay, when we come to linguistics, linguistics means the language has been discussed, has been assumed from the many traditions. Actually, some people assume that language has some divine rights, some divine powers that we have. But in Hindu, when do I talk about the Hindu traditions? In Hindu traditions, this has been said that language came from the Saraswati, who is the wife of the Brahma and the creator of the universe. Okay, when do I talk about the linguistics? Linguistics deals with the scientific study of the language. There are some more types of the linguistics, and we will also cover the introduction to the linguistics. And there's, when do I talk about there are types of linguistics like phonetics, morphology, syntax, phonology, semantics, psycholinguistics, historical linguistics, sociolinguistics, computational linguistics, neurolinguistics, and forensic linguistics, and cognitive linguistics and language. There are some errors in the spellings here. This will be the forensic linguistics, and after that social linguistics, computational linguistics, and psycholinguistics. So okay, so don't think about the spelling corrections. Actually, I will be correct this later. Whatever the topics, whatever the contents, we like it after that. Okay, so this is enough from today, and in this in linguistics I will also cover the grammar on the standard level, which is from the basic to the advanced level, and that will be really, I mean, you will really enjoy much more. Okay, so for today it's enough, and thank you for watching this video. Thank you so much.